So these were the scales, and in the following I will quickly go over the subscales so you get an understanding of what do the scales consist of and what do the subscales actually mean, so what do they assess. So this gives a bit of a better understanding of the different scales of the behavior that is assessed and a good understanding of the personality. Again, if you want a tailored one, this is obviously way more in depth and it's obviously tailored to you and your own personality. This is it's a report. It's the normal definition, so it's more like a general approach to it. So there are sample reports where you can get a feel for it. I will also link it up, but again, this is way different if you get your own assessment where you really get assessed yourself and know what is relevant to you and what is not, because I totally understand that there's loads of information we're currently going through right now, and this is also why I split the videos and will also try to keep it as concise as possible. So excitable refers to the following subscales. Volatile, and volatile refers to being moody, often angered or annoyed, easily upset. Then we have easily disappointed as another subscale, and easily disappointed is for people when they, especially when like passion turns into rejection. So easily disappointed is an interesting one because it refers to there's an initial passion for people and project, and then when inevitably disappointed, this passion turns into rejection. Then the third subscale is for excitability is for excitable is no direction, and no direction has a lack of like well-defined beliefs or interests, or maybe like regrets of past behavior. So second off, we have skeptical, and skeptical contains of the following subscales. So the first one is cynical, and I mean, like, I guess everyone knows what cynical refers to. And then we have mistrusting, so there's like a general mistrust. Then we have grudges, people who are holding grudges. Then the third scale we're looking at is cautious with the following subscales. Avoidant, and avoidant can be referred to people, can be referred to new situations. There's a general like avoidance, I don't know, I don't want to do that, like this is new and I'm not really open to this. Fearful also is a second subscale. This could refer to like being criticized for making mistakes or being reluctant to act independently. So really being, wanting to get told what to do, refusing to take on responsibility. Then unassertive is the third subscale, and unassertive. So someone who's not assertive, so as unassertive, can often be overlooked, and especially in bigger organizations because, you're just not on people's radars. Then we have the scale reserved with the following subscales. Introverted, and this is like valuing like your own like private time and preferring to work alone. Again, depending on the context, that's totally fine. If you are in a team environment where you would need to exchange a lot of information and interact with your colleagues a lot, then this might become a real problem for you. Unsocial, like keeping others at a distance, limiting close relationships, and being generally kind of detached. Then the third one is tough, and tough is being indifferent to the feelings and problems of others. It's usually when you say people have a task orientation rather than the people orientation, so you're more focused on a task rather than people. Then we have leisurely, and leisurely's first subscale is passive aggressiveness, and it's actually quite funny because when I moved to England, I guess I didn't really know what it was before, but so if anyone from like German, I'm not saying we're not doing it, just like there's not really like a definition for it, right? So passive aggressive, and read this definition out, is overtly pleasant and compliant, but privately resentful and subversive regarding requests for improved performance. So you're not bitching around, but you're having it. It's a bit like two-facedness, or like being indirect aggressive. Then the second subscale is unappreciated, believing that one's talents and contributions are ignored, perceiving inequities in assigned workloads. And the third subscale is irritated, privately but easily irritated by interruptions, requests, and work-related suggestions. The next scale is bold with the following subscales. Entitled. So the feeling that one has special gifts and talents. And also this indicates that this person expects a special treatment. Then the second subscale is overconfidence. And again, we already spoke about it, like if there's too much overconfidence can put people off. And it can be really dangerous if someone is overconfident in their own abilities and therefore putting themselves and others at risk. Fantasized talent is the third subscale, and this means that someone is fantasizing of being more talented than they might be and that they are being born for greatness. Then the next scale is mischievous. Oh god, I hate this word. So please, Hogan, can you replace that word, please? So the following subscales are part of this scale. So we have risky, so prone to taking risk and testing limits. Again, it can be too much, right? So there might be times where you need to assess the risk before you can take them. Also, bending the rules might not be appropriate, and yeah, I'm just thinking of context. So for example, if you are an innovator, if you're an entrepreneur and you're quite innovative and people expect you to break the rules, or you're a fashion icon or whatever, okay, whatever, fine, right? But if it comes to, for example, banking, then that's not okay to break the rules or to bend the rules. You know, this is dangerous and this is illegal behavior. So, well, not necessarily always, but it could lead to it. Then we have impulsive, so acting without considering the long-term consequences of one's actions. And then we have manipulative, so using Machiavellian tendencies to get what you want. Next scale up is colorful with the following subscales. So we have public confidence, so how confident a person appears public. Downside of that might be that the person might not know when it's time to be quiet and let others do the talking. Distractible, so someone who's quite easily distracted. Then the next subscale is self-display, so someone who is overly eccentric, who is creating this show persona and trying to draw all the attention towards them while, like, you know, creating fancy outfits or whatever. Again, context matters, right? Then we have the next scale up is imaginative with the subscales, eccentric. And this can also refer to obviously expressing thoughts that are quite radical, that are quite new, that are quite too early for the masses. So people might not get it and might be like, that doesn't make any sense. So you can lose people easily when you be too fast forward thinking. The special sensitivity, and this refers to people thinking that they see things in others that are not really there. So being oversensitive and over-interpreting people's emotions, etc. Then we have creative thinking, and again, in general, this is obviously good. So someone who is, quite creative and come up with out-of-the-box solutions, has a good problem-solving ability, might become easily bored though. And again, context matters. It's not appropriate for every job. Sometimes it might not be right. So in general, there is no right or wrong with behavior because it's not ability. You know, it's not like, oh yeah, that's the right solution, that's the wrong solution. No, there is an appropriate or an inappropriate. Behavior might be not suitable for the situations, etc. But usually the context matters a lot. So when we assess a person's behavior, it's a lot about context. So is there a suitability to the role and the environment the person is in? The next scale is diligent, and diligent has the following subscales. So the first subscale is standard, so having very, very high standards. I mentioned this one already before in the video. So perfectionistic would also refer to being obsessed with the details and wanting to get everything perfect. So might not finish at all. Being organized, and in general, like, I mean, me being German, I think there's not too much wrong with being organized. However, it can get too much. If someone is completely inflexible about schedules, timing, rules, etc., then this can become a problem, especially for organizations where you need to be agile or need to move fast, right? And need to adjust to change. Again, though, context matters. Then the last scale is dutiful, with the following subscales. So first one is indecisive, can't make a decision. Then the second one is ingratiating. This means being excessively eager to please superiors, to telling them what they want to hear. I'm not saying kissing butt, but yeah, it might lead to a yes culture where people, if you have loads of people who show this behavior in your team and you're a leader, no one is going to talk to you really what's going wrong. And this can get really, really dangerous, because just imagine no one is telling you where you messed up or what's not working, although they know it's not working. This could have massive financial consequences for the whole company, for their jobs, right? So that's quite dangerous. And then the last subscale is conforming, so really taking pride in following and conforming and sacrificing like the one's own personal opinion about topics and things. So I'm aware that this video also got quite long, but again, it's loads of stuff we go through. This is why I would end it here. So you got all the scales, you got the subscales, and then I will do the third video of the series where we talk about the assessments, the MBPI, in a third video. So yeah, simply because I know we are all busy and I already talk for quite a lot, but again, there's loads of information on this. I really try to keep it as concise as possible. If you want to read more about it, there are sample reports. There's a sample of the flash report, and also loads of even more information out there. I'm sure I will probably do some more videos on this because there's just so much to talk about. But I also obviously will link the Hogan webpage down below. And if you need a Hogan consultant and would like to do your own assessment, please get in touch. Otherwise, I will see you soon or in the next video. Take care.